I'm a Catholic priest and a member of Redemptorist Order. I'm a journalist of Polish Catholic Radio Maryja and television Trwam. Actually, I used to live in Canada, however, I still working for this media. And as we are addressing to Islam community as a disciple of Christ, we would like to, first our message say, Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Alaikum salam.
So, for me, as we are here in Turkey during the visit of Pope Francis here, from the Islamic, when we are saying about the Islamic aspect, for me the most moving moment was during the first day of the visit of Pope, that both Pope and your President of the Republic pointed that there is a time to show to the world the real face of Islam, which is peaceful, which is regarding all the people, and it shows us real fundaments of the interreligious dialogue, which goal is not to convert Islam to Christian and Christian to Islam, but to first regard ourselves, give ourselves mutual understanding, and share that what is common for us as a people, as a human. The respect for life, for human life, respect for the dignity of human person, and our effort to create such world which be very friendly for all the people to lead their life.
And I am Father Andrew, representing the same television and radio. And I would refer to two particular moments that actually touched me while we are following the visit of the Pope Francis to Turkey. The first one was the greeting, the initial address of the Pope when he actually praised Turkey, saying that he was very glad and joyous to meet the people of Turkey. He praised this people for being very vital and then dedicated honestly to work and very much generous, by this referring to the capacity of welcoming the refugees that suffer from war and conflicts. That was the very first statement of the Pope, which actually opened my eyes that we have to pay attention to the common values of everyday life. People that are honest, good people, dedicated to each other, very generous. Like 25 years ago, I had a chance to be in Jerusalem where I met Islamic people. And I visited some of them in the hospitals. One of those particularly touched my heart, and I've never forget that, because calling to mind the most merciful God, that person, when he saw me as a Christian visiting him in the hospital, he burst into tears. And these tears will never be forgotten by me. Yeah. And then I say, Inshallah, shall we meet always in the most tender capacity to relate to ourselves as brothers and sisters, because we share that same human nature, and then we're open to God. The second point I was trying to touch now is that particular, very simple moment when the Pope visited the Blue Mosque, and then he stayed in silence because he truly believes in adoration. And he repeatedly stated that to the Grand Mufti, saying that we should not only pray God and invoke him, but we should, after or before any other thing, we should adore God. And my understanding is that when we truly adore God and we truly meet him, then we come down to this planet and we get back to our everyday life transformed, with a totally different capacity to relate with respect, with joy, with meeting each one, even like now, looking at each other's eyes and being capable too of fraternity and unity of mankind and of the three Abrahamic religions. So we have just received this as a gift, and I'm so really dearly touched, because there are words coming both from Quran, from the Hebrew Bible, and from the Gospels that truly give us the same type of a message. We're all God's creatures, extremely wonderfully, built up and constructed to be able to such a capacity that anytime, everywhere we meet as human beings, but being open to the transcendental dimension of our origin, we can only heal each other's, not fight, not hurt, but heal and construct a common world of a civilization of peace and love. That's my conviction. And I'm very pleased because that's the first time of my life that I come to Turkey. I won't be able to visit the magnificent monuments of the past, but the actual moment for me is really meaningful. And if I get back to Italy actually, where I work, I will be able to tell this story as I'm telling you now.
I think that as believers to one God, first instrument to achieve such state when not to eliminate people, but to just move out the hatred and sin, first instrument should be prayer. Prayer like this, what we observe and participate today, the prayer, the common prayer with Christian churches, or such prayer we participate yesterday at Blue Mosque when the Muslim Grand Mufti and the head of Catholic Roman Church entered together in the mosque. The second is the education, just to enable people to use such great gifts, which is common gift for all, a gift from God, the gift of reason and understanding. And maybe on this ground, we should, in the same time, develop or support all that initiative of the charitable works, of the philanthropy, and such common great deeds, in order to show ourselves that, as we just know that we are able to do war and hatred, so we are able also to do peace and cooperation in order to achieve the welfare for all people.
Well, to this authentic religious experience and to the education, plus working together for the common good, I would also add one point that I think is frequently mentioned in the speeches, both by the representatives of the religious expression of our life, like also for the political side, namely the respect, common shared respect of our coherence. If we, for example, profess our faith in merciful God, then our acting and response to the violence should be continuously merciful, both in Islam, both in Hebrew and Christian expressions of our faith. But what happens if the violence continues? Then, of course, this point is important, that we should be together, united, for maintenance and respect of the shared common law.